Everyone, I'm with Jessica Belkin, the star of this really interesting, awesome movie called Last Straw. First off, right off the bat, I'm just gonna get right to it. This is such a plum and juicy role where your character runs the emotional gamut. A, how awesome is it to land this role? And B, just how much prep and hard work did you put into this? Because you can really tell.
Oh, thank you so much. This was a dream role to get, and I think even from the initial audition, when I read the sides, I was in love with the project and Nancy, and I thought she was so cool, and she's everything. She says everything that I wish I could say, and just had a smart mouth. And then as I got into the callback process and stuff, and I got to read the full script, I realized what the story, where it was going. And that's when my jaw was like on the floor, and I was like, I get to be a part of this. This is a thriller. This is like a crime drama. Um, so yeah, it was really fun. And my preparation, I think I had conversations with our amazing director, Alan, and I got to see him in New York when I was there before we started shooting. And we talked about the the character analysis and just where Nancy comes from, what her background was, and what the main goal throughout the film was going to be with her. And I think that was to make her likable.
Obviously, you're an actor, you're not Nancy, but could you relate to her struggles in the sense that maybe you've known people along the way, she's around your age? Did that help as far as the prep for the role, just having that universal connection to that age group and where they want to go in life?
Hmm. Yeah, when I did the project, I was 19. I turned 20 on set. And my character, Nancy, she's 20, and she's going through like a tough, I mean, I'm not pregnant. I'm not like dealing with a job in the middle of nowhere, but I think her sense of being lost and stuck and not knowing where she's going and feeling a little isolated, I think we can all kind of relate to that. And I was definitely feeling that right before starting the film too, of just like, where am I going? What's going on? And I think I figured out my path since then. But yeah, I think it's something we can all relate to, that
Yeah.
feeling of being lost.
Look, maybe it's movie magic, but I'm an old man watching your character go through the motions and the physical ringer left me tired. Is that movie magic, or were you literally tired doing a lot of the things you had to do, especially visually through the diner, through that maybe outhouse near there? There's just so many things you had to do. Or am I completely missing out? Was it an illusion as far as the physical nature of it?
I think I think I was definitely exhausted. We had like night shoots for 2 weeks straight. I'm pretty sure we shot it a little bit ago, but from what I remember, it was like night shoots and uh before any of my heart racing scenes, I would go outside the diner and ask for a minute just to run around in laps to come in and hit my mark, and then just start the scene from there with the feelings of exasperation already. It definitely took a toll on my body, but so does any project that we go to film on. It's a privilege to be able to work and do this, to play pretend. So, it's all part of the fun, and I really enjoyed it.
On being part of the fun, I guess you said you shot it maybe over 2 years ago. I'm assuming because you were 19, you turned 20. I don't know, maybe you might be 21, 22, maybe right now.
22, yeah.
Okay, so just your thoughts on the first time you saw the final cut of this film. How pleased were you? Were you surprised because it really comes together and it really has a lot to, it's more than your average thriller. There's a lot this movie has to say about things without giving too much away.
Yeah, I feel so lucky to be a part of this film. I'm so lucky to Alan and Taylor. They are such incredible filmmakers and writers. Um, I think when I first watched the project after, or the movie after it was cut, I was trying to separate myself from who I was seeing on screen. And it was bringing emotion out of me. I was watching like my parents and my friends around me and the audience, and just seeing how it was touching people. and it was also grossing them out and all of these things. And I think that's just a great sign of a great movie. So yeah, I just was like super proud of everyone.
You know, not to get too sentimental here, but I was looking at some of your old YouTube videos, and you're also a singer, and you were singing when you were at an early age. You have a voice, so obviously you will be using your voice for future roles. I'm assuming because you're definitely have a really great voice. But is it more fun watching like your parents, your loved ones take joy out of what you do as an actress and artist, as opposed to what you getting that personal joy? It must be great to see it from another point of view.
Hmm. I think a mixture of both, like selfishly speaking, I definitely feel like I do it more for me than I do it for my parents, but I do like so appreciate my parents being proud of something that I've worked my ass off on. Thank you for saying I'm a great singer. That's so sweet. I was
Yeah, you
literally
should
like
sing more.
10 years old in those YouTube videos. I did shoot a project. Actually, the next movie I did after The Last Straw was a singer-songwriter movie where I had to play guitar and sing these original songs that they wrote for me, and hopefully that's coming out soon. I had a really really fun time with that, and I hope to get to be able to sing more in projects. It's definitely been a passion of mine since I was a kid.
You know, people like me, cinephiles, we're on the outside looking in as far as the industry goes. So I'm going to watch something like Last Straw. I'm going to recommend it to my listeners and my podcast co-hosts, and I'm going to review it. I'm going to say, oh, Jessica Belkin, she's going to be really great. It's a career-changing role, and she's going to get so many more roles in the future. That's the outside looking in. But
Mhm.
you're on the inside. What's the journey like with you after this role and moving forward? Where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now? And is my perception completely off as opposed to where you're at right now?
That's a good question. I think in 5 years from now, I would like to still be working and still have the fire for this, for the craft, and still be just as obsessed with telling stories. I would love to explore more horror thriller genres, and work my way up into the scream queen world. I think it's a good look on me, so I would
It
love to continue that.
it's a great look on you. Is that a passion that you had you were mentioning when you're 10? Obviously not when you're 10, but horror thriller genre, was that a passion for you growing up, or did you mature into this and realize, hey, this is a lane that I can really expand my
Hmm.
toolbox in? Where did that come in as far as your passion for the genre?
The passion, actually, it was close to 10. It was like 13. But I did American Horror Story Hotel when I was 13, and I played Lady Gaga's little vampire child. And I think being on that set and seeing how things were done and how it wasn't scary, and then I don't know, just being an actress like or a child actor growing up, I would watch these movies and not have nightmares. I'd be fine and I'd be like, "Oh, I know how they shot this. They put a dolly here and then they put a gag here and they did this." And people would be like, "What is wrong with this child?" So I think I matured into it, but it kind of started there. I was also homeschooled, so like there's just some strange quirks there.
Final question is, so I do a podcast called Find Your Film, and I ask actors and filmmakers to name a movie they find very personal to them and that they would like to recommend to our listeners. So can you just, I know it's a hard question, but a movie that really means a lot to you personally and what makes it unique for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite movie of all time is kind of a strange little one. People know it, some people don't. It's called Leon the Professional. It's with Natalie Portman when she was like 13. Watching the movie back in this current age, there are some weird little things about it with the age difference between them. I don't wouldn't say that that's what I find the most appealing about it, but I do love the struggle between Matilda's character and Leon, and trying to, build that bond together, but also dealing with all of her family drama and just being like alone and a little girl. I don't know. There's something about that film that just makes me feel like a little girl watching it again.
Okay,
So,
very, very good. Thank you for your time. And just a slight B level to that question is, after watching this film, what other maybe series or sh or movie from your resume would you like our listeners to watch and why? You mentioned American Horror Story, but is there something else in your resume that you would recommend and watch have us watch on streaming or digital and what makes it cool for you?
Well, I would definitely recommend you guys watch Last Straw on digital. September 20th is when it comes out on all VOD platforms. Definitely check it out. And then I would, I don't know if there's anything currently that I would say. There are things coming out like the singer-songwriter movie. It's called Singing in My Sleep. And then I just shot a movie called The Upside of Unrequited. It's a book adaptation. And it's in the same universe as Love, Simon. So that'll be really fun. It's actually kind of refreshing because it's comedy and like young adult novel. So it's not horror, but I think it'll be a nice contrast to me in this.
So lots of singing and singing in my sleep then from you?
Yeah, yeah, lots of singing. Hopefully
Okay,
coming out soon. We're in talks right now.
great. Jessica, thank you so much for your time. Really love Last Straw.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's so nice chatting.